Welcome to Full Stack Development using MERN.
Hi everyone, today we will do the full stack development open source contribution created by the Hierarchy Rod. Okay, so as part of the contribution, we have the different task items which we have to implement in the Node.js. So initially, we will create a Node.js application here, and we will implement these tasks. So later part, we will have the front end task as well. In this open source contribution, the output is the a lead code website. Okay, so there contains the your upload the problems, okay, to get the questions, to upload the submissions. So those functionalities will have. So right now we will see how what are the task items we need to implement in the Node.js. So these are the task items listed here. So task one is the sign up functionality, where sign up functionality will have the email and password. So if email is already existed, then we will return a false. So boss, this email is already existed, try with a new email. If email is not already exist, then we will take the email and password both, then we will push it to the our local variable. Right now we are not integrating the MySQL or any kind of a DB. So in the later videos or in the future, so we will do the sequence of videos once that part is completed or covered. Okay, so next we have the login functionality. In the login functionality has, so we have the user and email and password. So where we will match the email and password with our variable. So if that is exist, then we will allow him to the screens, which is we will return the true. If that is not exist, then we will return the false. Next we have in a get questions. So as we have output of lead code website, right, so there we will have the questions. So this particular API method, when you call this API method, so it returns the all the questions in the array. So next same goes for the submissions. So whatever the submissions we have done, that this API is responsible to return those submissions. So here we have the task 5, which is post submissions. So whenever you did a submission respect to the questions, so this will allow you to the submit the particular solution into the respective problem. And last task we have the separate capability for admin. So where admin can only add the problem, like for example any kind of questions. Okay, so where admin can add those question statements. Let's see how we have implemented in Node.js. Okay, sorry, I have forgot this. Yeah, so I have cloned from the website. I have cloned from the GitHub repo, which is called a full stack assignment by HKRAT. Okay, so I will ping this GitHub URL in the description, so you can find it from there. And I will also ping my own GitHub link in description, so you can also find that. Yeah. So when you cloned initially, you will have only one index.js file, which is a basic setup of for Node.js. Okay, so here, if you see the index.js file, okay, I have created two files. One is the helper.js file, and the next one is the index.js file. So where helper.js file will contains the all the functionality implementations like sign up and login and get submissions, get questions. And index.js file is the which creates the routes for those functions and up the server. Okay, which basically it contains the you can say express file. Okay, so now we have the yeah, now let's go to the index.js file. So we have created a route called sign up. Okay, so here which is a post method. Okay, for sign up, then we are calling on line number 9, which is called the sign up function. So where the sign up function will allow using the helper, okay, which is accessible from the helper. So let's see what is inside in the sign up function. Okay, so if you see it in the sign up function, so we have created in a try catch block. If anything comes error, it will go to the catch block, then it will return the some error. Okay, so here we are extracting the email and password from the body. Okay, so once we got the email and password from the body, then we are matching if this particular, which means we are checking if this email is exist in the array, then return the true. If email is not exist in the array, at least one value, then it will not return true, it will return a false. Okay, so here we are checking that, then if email is not existed, then we are pushing the email and password, then we are returning the registration is successful. If email is not exist, then we are returning an object which is called error true, and message is email already exist, please try with another email. If everything is something went wrong, like something fails, okay, then it will go to the catch block, then it will return the null value. So how we are handling in the roads. So once we are called that methods item method, we will get the response, whether it is the object with success, whether it is the object with failure, or whether it is the null. Okay, so respective to that, we are creating, if error is false, which means if nothing is error, we got the success, which is status is success, and we got the successfully inserted, then we are returning the with success status code, and we are returning that respective that response object. Okay, and if you have any error, then we are returning the status code 401, which is failure, then we are returning the failure object. If response is null, then we are returning the status code 407, then we are returning an object which is user registration unsuccessful, try after some time. Okay, this is for the you can say sign up route. Next we will see the login route. Okay, so the same we will see the how login function was implemented. Yeah, the same here, I have taken the email and password from the body, then I'm checking that if the particular user email is matching to whatever I'm requesting. Okay, if it is matching, I'm extracting that object. Okay, if that object has some values, or if that object password value matches with my request body password. If both are matching, then it will return the okay, user logged in successful. Else, if user whatever the object user that object don't have the value and password is not matching, then it will return invalid username and password combination. Okay, so the once when you came back to the roads, so here I'm taking that response and remaining things same. If the whatever the implementation of function is success, then we are returning the success code. If something went, I mean, if something error, then we will return the 401 with error response. Then if something is happened by any error, then we are returning an object called user login unsuccessful, try after some time. Now let's see about the rows of questions. Okay, so here we are calling the again get questions method in the helper file. So if you see that, so we this function is responsible to return the questions in the list. Okay, then basically we are checking the questions variable. So here questions variable is the a constant variable, or you can say global variable here declared in the top. Okay, but in the future, if db is integrated, this will go on. Okay, here db integration will came, and here we are checking the questions dot length is greater than 0, which is questions has some values, then we are returning the that questions object. Else we are returning no questions are in the list now. And if you go back in the API route, so here the same thing we are checking, if anything is there, if it is success, then we are returning the success object with success status code. If anything is that particular questions is empty, then we are returning the status code 401 with the empty response. And if something went wrong, then we are returning the status code 407 with message called loading questions unsuccessful, try after some time. And same goes for the submissions as well. So if you check the submission method here, we are checking the again submissions array. Okay, if submission array has some values, then we are returning the submission, else we are returning the some error message. Okay, the same thing, if it is has some success, then we are showing the success code. If it has some failure, we are showing the some failure with the failure object. If you see the next API route, which is called post submissions, where a user has can post their submissions respective to the problem. Okay, so let's see that post submission. Here we are accepting the two things. So one is the problem index, and next one is the solution of solution from the request body. And next we are checking the a random accept or reject code. So as we have the requirement right now, so randomly our system will accept or reject the solution. Okay, so to write that syntax, this is the best line. Okay, so where math dot random, the probability of accept or reject is the 50 percentage, which is the 0.5, which indicates the 50 percentage. So it will give in a true or false. So then we are checking the, if problem index has some value or solution has some value, then we are pushing the problem index solution and is accepted to the submission array. So else we are returning the with empty values. Okay, and the same when you go back to the that route. So here we are, if it is success, then we are returning the status code of success with the same object. If it is failure, then we are returning the failure code with the failure object. If it has something went wrong, then we are returning the message called post submission unsuccessful, please try after some time. And in the last task where admin only can enter the problems. Okay, so this is the API road. Here we have the extra parameter called is admin. So is admin, here we are checking the from the header, if in the header authorization part, if it is matches with admin, then go ahead. If it is not matches, then only we are triggering an error message called only admins can add the problem. Okay, now we will see what is the implementation in the admin add problem functionality. So we are taking the three parameters: title, description, and test cases. Okay, if those three parameters are there in the if those parameters are there from the request body, then we are pushing that particular request body to the quotients. Okay, then we are returning the success message, else we are returning the error message. Okay, so if you going back to that particular API route, if that is a success, then we are returning this status code of success with the success object. If it is failure, with the status code of failure with the failure object. If it has went something wrong, then we are returning with an error message called posting question is unsuccessful, try after some time. Okay, and here we are using the port. Okay, from the environment variable. So where it helps us to get the values from the environment variables, so you can maintain your secret keys and everything in the environment variables. So here I am reading the port from the environment variables. So yeah, once that particular application is executed, you can execute by running the command in the terminal called node space index.js as your entry file called index.js. So this particular application will be up, okay, on the port number 3001. Okay, now you can check this port is running. Now we will check the method called, which is you can say get questions. Okay, get questions. Boom, cool. You can see we have got a output, what are the questions in the array. So in this way, you can achieve the basic tasks using Node.js. Okay. So we will see in the continuing sessions of the respective remaining task. Okay. For the full stack web development. Thanks. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel.